What's up guys, welcome back to another Warframe video. Today I'll be going over our Railjack. If you're unfamiliar what the Railjack is, first you have your orbiter, which is the first ship you start off in. Then you have your second ship, which is called your Railjack. It's an ancient ship that was used in the old war that you eventually will get to use for a new mode in Warframe when you get further. So you can access your Railjack by going to the back in your orbiter, but if you don't own the Railjack, to get it you just have to buy a Cephalon that's in the market. You can buy the blueprint for the new Cephalon for your Railjack. Once you build the blueprint, the Rising Tide quest will be unlocked, and the missions basically guide you to unlock the parts for your Railjack so you can build it. Once you find all the parts and finally craft your Railjack, the ship has 6 parts that's within. You have the front area, which is like the pilot seat. In this area you get to control your ship and then utilize the ship's abilities when you're in combat. This is also like the navigation, where you can choose what mission to start on. This area right here is your forward artillery, so this helps you take out the cruise ships or any of those tankier ships. We also have the dorsal fin turrets, so in case you're running multiplayer missions, your teammates can also hop on board and shoot the enemies as well. This is your exit hatch or entry hatch, where you enter and exit the ship when you're in combat. If we go downstairs, this is your foundry. So in the foundry you're able to forge Revelite, which can help you recharge your gun to when your ship catches on fire and you need sealant. You can also recharge your energy, which is a resource you need to use your Railjack abilities. You can use Hull Restore, which is a resource where it repairs the ship when it's damaged. You can craft the munitions, which is another resource required to use the ordnance, which is like that giant, one-shot cannon in the front. And then finally you can craft dome charges, which is another resource that you use for another type of gun that's part of your ship, so you make more bullets. On top of that, which will be a feature for your Railjack, is you can have crewmates. The maximum is 3, but they can all be customized, and we'll go into detail with that later. And then finally, all the way in the back, we have the slingshot. So if you come back here, this can launch you, with this little cool animation. It slingshots you into space with your Arcwing. You can normally access your Railjack in your orbiter, where you just go to configure plexus, or you can head over to your dojo if you are in one, and fast travel to the dry dock. So this takes you to your ship. Once you make it to this location, there's going to be these 2 little control panels. So starting from the left, so if you click on this first one, this controls your shield. So if you hover over the parts, these are parts that you gain from doing simple Railjack missions. There's a bunch of beginner missions that aren't too hard, that you can just farm up these parts and collect. When you come back to this area and you look at all the parts you captured, you can go ahead and click on it. And then if you find out that you don't really like the stats that the part has, you can just scrap it for endo. So this is also a cool way to endo farm in a sense. So I can go to a new part, click inspect to check out the stats, and it's at 1700, which is close, but it's not over 1800. But if you look at the little bonus perk, 30% of shield damage is diverted to increase turret damage by up to 300. So I can go ahead and scrap it for endo or repair it, and I can use it for myself. Moving on to the next part, we have the engines. This one controls the speed that you go. Same concept. You collect the parts, you click X on the part that you want, you inspect it, it tells you the stats, and then you can either scrap it or keep it if you want to equip it to your ship. We have plating. This controls your shield and your armor. Same concept with this one as well. Click on it, inspect. The reactors, these ones control your battle mods. Your Railjack is your equipment, so you can also apply mods on your Railjack. These parts will amplify those mods. Onto the next section called the armaments. The armaments are your weapons. The weapons behave the same way as the ship parts do. If you look at the guns of the ship, you click on it, you check out the stats, from inspecting it. And if it's stats that you like, then you keep it. You click repair, and then, so this is if we wanted to build it. We just click R2 on all of the resources, and then you click contribute all, and it starts building it. The next section is the upgrades. Here is where you place the mods on your Railjack. I gained all of these from just doing the random notes, so completing my Railjack star chart eventually gifted me all of these. So if you want to use my mod setup, this is the one I use. You can even take it for the strongest mission in Railjack, where you can fight the sentient ship. These mods don't increase the mod range, strength, or duration. These mods, you want to more look at the stats that they give you or give your ship during your mod section. So you do get 3 different loadouts that you can utilize. You also have a battle section. These mods are also gained from doing Railjack missions, and they are your Railjack abilities. So you can see Blackout Pulse is a magnetic pulse that damages enemies and disables them temporarily, so like an EMP. You have Void Hole that creates a black hole that draws in enemies, dealing damage. And then we have Tether. So there's a bunch of abilities that your ship can utilize, and this is where you'll equip them in order to use them in battle. And finally, you have Tactical. So these are like a sub ability section. So say, for example, you're in another ship and the enemy boarded your ship and caused a breakdown. You have to fix that breakdown within a certain amount of time, otherwise you lose the mission. If you have Breach Quanta, you open up the sub ability menu and you push, you activate this ability, and you instantly stall the breach. So you can do your mission and then go back to your ship in 45 seconds to fix the problem. You have other things like fire suppression, going invisible, so you can utilize this for combat as well. Next, we get to the intrinsics area. This area has 5 different categories, each that can be leveled up. On increasing your rank with each section, you gain abilities that the command section was the one that I wanted you guys to look at. This is where you can unlock the second crew member, as well as all 3 crew members on your ship. When you max this out, you can even summon crew members to you or with you on missions. Speaking of crew members, now we have the crew section. So if you're curious on where to buy more crew members, you just can go to Fortuna and talk to Ticker. Ticker sells shipmates that you can go around and choose which ones you want. Once you choose the ones you have, you can customize them, give them Sedanas, as well as even equip them with your favorite weapons that also utilize the same mods you do. So they're not just walking around carrying weak weapons when you're out doing Railjack missions. On top of that, each crew member can change appearance. You can train them, or you can assign them a role. So if you want them to be more of a gunnery, depending on their stats, you can place them on the weapons. If you want them to be more focused on healing, because their healing technique is good, you can place them on that. So it's all up to you. On call is if you unlock that one ability ranking that I showed you guys with the intrinsics. This is where you choose which crewmate you want to come down. Usually this one helps me a lot, so I'm going to change it back to this one. And then we have the final section, and that is customizing your Railjack. So yeah, This is the fun part. If you guys want, you can use the weapons that I use for my ship as a reference to take with you on missions. I didn't go over which parts I use, but in a certain part of the video you see all the parts I have, so you can just use the same ones if you want. Those probably aren't the best, but they do help me get through most of my missions. So we can go ahead and enter the ship through here. Cephalon Sai is the new cephalon you're supposed to craft in order to control your Railjack. We can head over to our navigation. One key tip that I recommend for you guys is that you can take any Warframe you want for Railjack missions. The thing is, if you think about Hildren and Lavos, those two Warframes don't require energy to do their abilities. The way a Warframe utilizes their abilities is applied to their ship as well. So if I were to be Lavos, for example, my ship abilities will be set on a timer instead of energy support. So if I were to use Hildren, my abilities would be based off of her shields instead of energy support. So, you know, depending on what Warframe you go into battle with, it does help your Railjack as well. Or you can just take your favorite Loki or Excalibur or whatever your favorite Warframe is onto your Railjack and do it that way. Because I showed you guys in the foundry, you guys can build energy in case you run out, or you can take energy pods that you can craft in your foundry with you to replenish yours. If you run with the generic clan for your operator, the operator has an ability to give your Warframe energy, so you can also take that in case you guys don't own a Lavos or a Hildren. So once you have your Railjack, you do have a Railjack section unlocked that you click on. It takes you to your Railjack star chart. We're going to just go over to the Earth Proxima, you know, start a random mission. It's gonna like instant transmission me in my ship, so you don't have to be in your Railjack to start the Railjack mission, which is the cool part. I know the main confusing part for the ship is like when it says build your dry dock, and you might not know what a dry dock is, but if you own a clan, you would have to build the dry dock section for your clan, for your dojo. If you are in a dojo, you have to make sure that their dry dock section is already built. But I'm not sure if they require you to still farm the resources for it, or if you can just utilize that dojo's dry dock. So once you set aside your mission, you know, we begin mission in 3, 2, 1. Cool part about this little cutscene is that there is like a rare chance for the void worm to appear, which is like this sick dragon that doesn't want to spawn no more for me. But yeah, now we're in a Railjack mission. Here you want to aim at the circle part. That helps your aiming. If you guys are using my weapons that I shown in my video, just know that it has like a mid-range, so you have to be kind of mid-distance or close in order to hit them. Once you find one of these tankier ships called crew ships, you have two choices. You can either shoot them with your guns and get them into stasis. Once in the stasis, you go to your front ship, head to the main gun, and then you want to hold R2. This triggers that giant cannon, and then you release. That delivers the final blow you need to take down a cruise ship. So you don't have to really use your ship to fight these missions. I can leave my ship. We can go to the exit hatch. End up being in our arc wing. It's just that my aiming is probably weird. Some people have better arc guns than ship guns, so you can also utilize that if you don't have a good Railjack. Just know that you can level up your intrinsics to help your Railjack boost your arc wing abilities. So if you want to be more focused on utilizing your arc wing when doing Railjack missions, I would focus on that intrinsic category. Now say if you run out of ordnance bullets, or you know, that one shot ability that I used to take out the cruise ship, you can hop out your Railjack and fly to the back of the ship and enter it. Once you're in the ship, treat it like a regular Warframe mission. You know, you take out the enemies. There's gonna be this little panel that you go to right here. Once you take out the shields, oh, okay, I lied. Sometimes they make you hat. Sometimes you just gotta shoot that, and then you exit. That served as like the engine to the ship, or the core. All right. So, you know, you have your dorsal turret where you can also shoot enemies from. There should be like another cannon that you can use. I'm trying to go to the slingshot. So back here, this is where the slingshot is. You just click square, and then you want to like aim where you want to go. I can't really see where it's gonna launch me, so I'll choose this one. Yeah, it just launches you from your Railjack. Dang, we are 6,000 meters. Oh god. The final thing that I haven't shown yet in this Railjack fight is the abilities. So if you hold R1, you can see that it brings up the buttons that I have to push in order to use the move. This is how you use your Railjack ability. So we'll go ahead and do the black hole. So I believe it was pulling in the enemies. I'm not sure. The last thing I haven't went over was your tactical menu. So if you hold R1, even if you're just in your Warframe, it's kind of hard to show you because okay, there we go. So if I hold R1, you can see Omni. This brings up your gun when your ship is broken. So you just go and you hold R2 to fix whatever part broke. If you go and press tactical, this brings up your sub menu, and here you can utilize those other abilities that I showed you, like extinguish fire or breach quantum. Once you use that, it does go on a cooldown before you can use it again, but you can check up on all your crewmates. You can also check up on your friends if you guys are all running this in multiplayer. I believe that's everything that I can show you about your Railjack. So if I missed anything, please let me know, and I'll try to respond to your question down in the comments. If you guys are new to my channel, feel free to subscribe to join the squad when I go live, or if you just want to you know, check out some of my guide videos that I'll post more on my YouTube channel. So completing each Proxima, I would be more focused on just going from Earth to Venus, you know, just following how your level of your ship is to not make it too hard for you. These missions will basically build your ship up from the ground up to be strong enough to handle the Veil Proxima, which is the hardest section. If you want to go ahead and click on the ones that are blinking red, these are where the sentient ships will spawn. So if you're trying to hunt sentients or gain anomaly shards, this is where you'll get them. I think this is the front, and I think you go in through this, and you enter the ship, and then boom. There's 2 different cutscenes on how we enter the ship. Personally, this one was the Dookie one. Alright, so the one final mission that you can do with your Railjack are called Void Storms. These are like Void Fissure missions when you open up regular relics, but the Railjack version. They play out as any type of regular Railjack mission, except, you know, you gotta collect the relics. So if I were to do one, but I want to show you guys something because this is very important in case you guys don't want to keep dying when you do this. But when you do the Void Storms, there's going to be you guys seen it, right? I wasn't tripping. Do you only have to do Void Storm missions and it appears? Is that it? Hey, the very paradox is coming out soon. So once you're in the Void Storm mission, there's going to be these green tornadoes that are going to spawn in. These tornadoes are going to damage your ship. So if you're wondering why it's hard to fly, or you know, you keep losing energy or your health is just draining, it's probably because you're inside the tornado. You can kind of tell. Look, there goes one right here. This is like a Void Storm. There's 2 now. They're going to keep spreading as time goes on. So doing the mission as fast as you can is very important, because you don't want to just be caught up flying through a bunch of these tornadoes. So hopefully I was able to explain and touch bases on all the topics of the Railjack. If I miss any sections of the Railjack, again, I do apologize, and I'll try to answer the questions as fast as I can in the comments below. But if you have any other questions or any other suggestions for guide videos, please let me know down in the comments. If you're new to the channel, check out my other videos on my playlist section, where, you know, I play other games other than Warframe, but I've been dropping a lot of guide videos. So if you guys are new or just getting into Warframe this year, go ahead and check those out. But you guys be safe. Thank you for watching the rest of the guide video, and I'll see you guys in the next live stream or upload.